Callin. Today I'm going to be interviewing Chris K. Jones. He's here on the welcome stamp, and he's a remote worker, so he's going to share a little bit with us about his experiences while he's here in Barbados. Hi, Chris. Welcome.
Hi. Welcome. Hi. Thanks for having me on.
Good to have you and to meet you.
Yeah, finally.
So, tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, what you did before you came to Barbados.
Sure. So, I'm an entrepreneur and writer. So, I sold my company in June 2019, and actually the day after I sold it, I was here in 2019 just on vacation. I've been coming to Barbados pretty consistently since 2014.
Okay.
So I love it here. And it was actually, so I sold my company, but I was still supposed to be on for another year. But in January, they said you can leave a little bit earlier. And so I took that option. In January 2020, I left to focus on my writing full time, which is something I made a promise to myself when I was 19 that someday I'd become a writer. And I grew up pretty poor, and I didn't like being poor, and I didn't want to be a starving artist. So I went out, had ups and downs, but got through and, was able now to really focus just on my writing.
Right.
And so I left a company and focused on my writing. And then in July 28th, my lawyer, who happens to be from Barbados, he sent me the notice about the welcome stamp. He's like, he knows, I've come down to visit him, and I've been coming down here for years. And he said, why don't you do this? I'm like, oh my God, this is a great idea.
Right.
So yeah, I did that. And then just had to kind of prepare your life to transition to come over. And it was setting up my house. I live in just outside New York City in Tarrytown, an old Dutch settlement from 1648. And so I had to get my house all prepared, find a property manager, someone who's going to watch after it. So it was a flurry of activity, get that, and then was able to come down here in September 23rd. So I'm almost at a year now.
Lovely, lovely. And you've decided to extend your stay here in Barbados now that there's that option.
Yeah. I figured they would, and I love it here. It's been great. It's been a wonderful place to work and live, and can't beat 84 degrees and sunny and breeze. And,
I know, maybe.
And it's a beautiful place and a beautiful country. I've always loved it. It's always been a place I've come to just when I was overwhelmed with New York and running companies and building, and it gave me the opportunity. I loved it here and always did. And I said, I've never lived outside. I went to college in England on exchange, but that was for a few months, so this was big different. This was a whole year.
Yeah.
And
this is technically you living here.
Yeah, I live here now, and it's been pretty wonderful. I really don't have, and that's including considering since I've been here, got dengue in December. Then we had lockdown from January to March.
Yes.
I had storm surge, and I live on the beach, and so I got out of shoveling snow, but I shoveled 4 inches of sand out of my backyard. Then we had the volcano, had to get rid of the ash. And then we had a hurricane, which I had a front row seat for.
Right.
And so, I don't know, maybe Barbados is trying to tell me something.
Well, besides the apocalypse happening, what other things happened to you that you would say probably weren't the best experiences? If there were any.
Not a whole lot, to be honest. I think I had a little bit easier than maybe most people because I did know some people, and they made it just a testament to Asian people, how warm I was welcomed. People took me around, showed me things, just getting things from my house to set up, introducing me to people. So I think I had maybe a little bit easier than the average person just because I knew a few people. But the other nice thing was, there is a welcome stamp group on the Facebook and a couple other ones, and that was really helpful. And you meet people through that and through events. I tried to organize some other writers and creative people to try to get together, and then the whole pandemic thing started going up. But from when I got here and being able, I also trained in judo and was able to train with the judo team. I swear, from September till I got sick in right before Christmas were probably 3 of the most balanced months that I've had in decades.
Really?
Where between my fitness and training and being able to write and focus on that, we were pretty social still at that point. There was
we had a
under
little
20
freedom.
cases on the island,
Yeah.
so being able to go out and meet people, it was really an amazing 3 months that were, everything was just going great. And even I had one day, it was really wonderful because I had everyone come over and work at my house. So
Nice.
so we had like working on the beach, and friends of mine who were working on English hours, they came over really early, and then they finished, and we'd run out to the beach and come back.
Go for a little dip or some surfing, run back, do a little work.
5 o'clock, drinks were flowing, it was a really great time.
This is paradise for you. You can only do those things here.
Yeah, so it's really been pretty good. I think learning, driving on the other side of the road and learning the roundabouts, that took me a little bit of time.
How was that for you? Because you're from the States, so I know it's a completely new concept for you.
Driving on the other side of the road, and then as well as driving, and learning the roundabouts. But I would study and ask questions, and I think within a month or two. But the first day I had my car, I rode up, because I knew the West Coast better, because I used to stay up there when I came down. The Fairmont is where I usually stayed. And
the Royal
they've
Pavilion.
been, they've always treated me like royalty every time I went there. And I still have friends that I've made there. So I've had friends that I've made since 2014 that I've made here that live in the UK, and really close friends that I see, and they come back here. And so, Barbados has been really a wonderful place for me to just meet people from all over the world and keep close friendships. So I rode up, I was up at 6 o'clock in the morning, got out on the road, no one's up on a Sunday.
Okay.
So it was quiet, and drove around for a few hours to get comfortable. Yeah, it was a little bit nerve-wracking in the beginning, and I think more than that was how early it would get dark.
Oh yes, around that time.
Yeah, so going to see friends and driving in the dark on narrow roads, not well
on
lit,
the left side, which
on
you're
the
not
left
used
sides.
to.
Yeah, I definitely beat up the left side of the tires on my car.
God.
Yeah,
No.
I already told the guy I'd replace those because I did beat. But since then, it's been fine. No real problems.
You had many adventures then.
Yeah, I've had a bunch. Yeah, definitely a bunch of adventures and driving around the island, and it is a very car-centric island. So
It is.
I do encourage people, if you're going to come down here, give it a try. Be careful.
It makes more sense than to get a taxi all the time.
Yeah.
Or if they're really adventurous, they could try getting the ZRs or the minivans. That's an experience in itself.
Yeah.
But it's more cost effective to just get your own car and just explore the island. It's very safe, and we are known for our hospitality. So even if you get lost, just ask a question. People will be willing to help.
Yeah. That hasn't been a problem. Waze I use on the island.
That works here better, a little better than Google Maps to me.
It does, although when you go to the east coast of the island, it is taking me down some dodgy one-lane dirt roads.
It'll be like, drive straight, and straight is just bush. It's like, where are you telling me to go? Yeah, that has happened to me too, yeah.
I've definitely had some experience oh God, and now I know better, nope, turn around, this is not going to be good.
This is leading nowhere.
I would recommend getting a higher car. My car's
a Jeep
is
good,
low.
a Jeep is good.
Or the Taras, like the Suzuki, anything that's a little bit higher.
Yeah.
Even as the experience we were talking, going back and forth the other day, is you got caught just on rendezvous here with the downpour, created a lake. I had to sit in the parking lot with my mom just for a half an hour.
So things eased up just a little bit.
The water subsided and I could pass through, but I was going to take a chance.
Yeah, well, we are relatively flat, so there is some flooding when the rain is pretty heavy, but thankfully the sun doesn't take too long to come out, dries everything